Gather around the fire and let the radioactive spirits cleanse you. This is the Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge. He's got a PhD.
I need to increase my font size. Lack of convenience or font size in my case.
In big dick energy.
So you're not going to get the protein from ingesting it, and you're going to increase your chance of cancer. It's just going to disease you and make you malnourished.
He's more facial hair than flesh sack.
No, I can bang your cousin, but you can't.
Give it up for Professor Beard Juice.
Let's just say I'm gay and I'm sucking Klaus's dick. Van comes along and he's like, why don't you listen to some Cher while you're at it? I'll be like, oh shit, you're right, I wasn't gay enough. But that's the basics. Are there any questions moving into this?
Her milkers bring the boys to the yard.
And I don't have the address pulled up, and I don't know where my glasses are. So it's down there. It's like in the main area.
She has dank memes and weed.
I really need to please my lotion. It's making the best sound effect.
But she can aid your spiritual realm needs.
I need to look at dick or something. I'm trying to get my mind into the gutter so I can stop thinking. Girl, hear me, you gotta suck the head.
She goes by Brandy.
What if these motherfuckers are fucking vampires? And they've just been making shows, showing us exactly. We just go away for 50 years. We leave our camp. We come back. We take over. We kill you.
He's the resident sound hound.
Big dick on campus over here.
The audio wizard in the acoustic blizzard.
Peace, love, man. Forgiveness.
Find him flexing in luchador tights.
I'm a filthy Mexican.
The man of 1,000 sound bites.
Yeah, where all the white women at? Yeah.
The button pusher Van Rollington.
It's like a graph where, the more crazy she is, the hotter she'll be, and the better in bed she'll be.
The graphics guru of digital visuals.
Now, I'm saying she's not a schizo, but I just think her MK Ultra training just wasn't effective.
He puts the ass in aesthetics.
I just went in, shook the boss's hand, and he gave me the job.
The leader of my people.
Raising a fucking army to attack Europe and attack the elites.
The tribal chief himself, Klaus Newhouse.
Hey, yo, the devil planted fear inside the black babies. Dead meat placed on the shelves. We eat cold cuts. Fast from the hog, y'all, and grow up. Swine merchant, your time is near at hand. Message to the feds.
Special guest. He's a connoisseur of goy slop.
First off, Lunchables are good.
A scholar of degeneracy.
The fucking ancient Egyptians were the OG original fucking furries.
Is not ashamed to sit down when he needs to piss.
What I do in the bathroom is my business.
He goes by Pnoid.
I do sit down to take a piss. Just like sometimes I have the urge to watch the Kardashians when I wake up. I watched a few episodes and Kylie is such a slut.
We're about to find out why they call it the Appalachian. Grab a drink, or pour one out for Popcorn Sutton, one of the greatest moonshiners around. War. The war on normies never changes. This is the Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge.
She's first to run like hell. She's first to run like hell. Yow!
Give it to Van. That's one hell of an intro.
Ooh. And I feel a way about y'all using just Floyd's clips, bro. Legit, man. Why you got to use the furry and say it was me? That's not cool.
Listen, it was very last minute, and I thought that was you. So it is. What
Man, listen. You could have clicked on any other video and known that wasn't me. Man, listen.
Some people like to watch trailers.
You grab the Indiana furry, right? Legit. What up? Thank y'all for having me on. It's appreciated. You know what I mean? God damn it. People think I sit down to pee now.
So, Beer Juice, you got some poll data for us.
Let's see. The sad state. With recent train derailments, who is attacking America? 20% say the deep state. 30% foreign bad actors. 20% disgruntled railroad workers. And 30% just a coincidence. Take your meds.
Agreed.
Which
Yeah.
one?
Really? You think it's just a coincidence?
I work for Norfolk Southern.
Yeah, I gotta say,
shit.
I would say it's less coincidental and more Norfolk Southern because I keep seeing that as the commonality.
No. All right. So you want to actually know what happened? Like what's actually going on?
Sure.
All right. So it's really simple. We've allowed these giant conglomerates to basically like pop up. Like right now, like UPS, FedEx, and Swift are like the three. And JB Hunt and Snyder are these giant companies that what they do is they'll take freight at a loss, right? And so about 50 to 60% of the rails, like business as a whole, is just regular freight. You know what I mean? Like moving across the country or borders or off of like seaports or whatever it is, right? And so the thing is that like they have to compete with like companies that are puppy milling drivers and taking freight at a loss. Right, in order just to expand and show that they're getting bigger. And when they do this, like basically everybody wants like that Amazon Prime free delivery stuff, right? And then on top of that, they got to compete with the USPS, who's over here like basically a government entity that's like they're being paid for by the government. They're completely subsidized. And so we're not paying to upkeep like this 200-year-old rail system that we have. And everything's just collapsing. It's happening all over the country. Like, if you come to my neck of the woods, like, you'd see that there's, like, bridges that are falling down. Like, they put nets up underneath of the bridges to catch the bridge that's literally falling to pieces as it hit, like, the rocks are hitting the cars when you're going under it.
Yeah.
Right? And just everything's collapsing because we're not paying for this infrastructure because we want cheap
I
stuff.
believe it.
Yeah, we're paying for
What do you
Ukraine's
mean?
infrastructure.
We're paying for human infrastructure.
Ah, okay. Here, I thought it was a giant conspiracy.
I didn't think it was that bad for the railroads. I know I was looking into how disrepaired our infrastructure was and may have bought some stocks that primarily deal in ownership of concrete, thinking at the end of the pandemic they would skyrocket, and I made some money.
Oh, was one of them CMEX? Because that's a pretty big one out of Mexico.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, but yeah, I did not realize it was that bad.
Yeah, things are very, very bad. Like very, very, like you have no idea how bad things really are. Like in my city alone, like I'll tell you a cool story. We have these terracotta pipes that run sewage lines, right? And the city doesn't know where they are.
What?
Right, and so like, one of them collapsed and washed out a hill, and an entire parking lot fell on top of this business. Right, this tire business.
Shit.
Right. And like, so when this happened, you know, I mean, like nobody was hurt, anything of this nature, but like they sued, they went to the insurance company and said, hey, a hill fell on us. I think that's an act of God. And they said, no, that's an act of a city. We have to sue the city. And the city said, we're bankrupt. We can't help you. You know what I mean? And like, they've been closed now for 8 years.
Good times, huh?
Yeah, this is what's going on. We're not keeping up with our infrastructure and everything's just breaking down. You go, oh man, listen, like, you know, like, oh man, like everything's like collapsing and like people are attacking us. Like, no, there's 1,000 different, like there's I did a video on it. There's 1,000 rail derailments every year, right? It just, we don't talk about it because there's not a giant mushroom cloud.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, if it bleeds, it leads. That's kind of what the deal is. That's why, that's why everybody thinks pedophiles are everywhere, right? Because the news knows that, like, yo, you can get eyes on screen if you talk about that stuff. But like, the state police came out recently and said, "Listen, y'all need to calm down." All right, incidences of this are literally dropping, right? It's like this is not like a major thing. It's just everybody's seeing them in their sleep because like the news is just putting them front and center in front of your eyes, so it's in like the public narrative.
Yep. Yeah, and I forget what they call the psychological phenomenon of localizing information. It's natural for the brain to do. So when you get inundated with too much of the same stuff, no matter how distant it is from you, you think it's everywhere.
Yeah, because I think another term was like
subliminal
mass
messaging
psychosis.
and propagandizing plus subliminal messaging.
Well, and on top of that, all advertising is based at women on TV.
Yeah.
Right? Like, literally, Law and Order is not made for men. It's only made for women. The whole show, like, the guy Dick Wolf came out and said, like, yeah, this is 100% porn for women.
Yeah.
I love his name. Anyway.